Guys, back in today with another reaction to One Punch Man, this time with Season 3, Episode 12, the finale of Part 1 of Season 3. As you can tell, said Part 1, it has been confirmed that there is a Part 2 coming out, which I did hear rumours before this that there would be a split core, but this is one of the longest split cores I've ever known. It's going to be airing in 2027 at some point, so over a year, and I actually think that's a really good thing. Of course, there's a long time to wait for a split core show, but hopefully it means the studio can actually give them some time to finish the show. I think that's been the biggest issue, of course, the animation, but the fact that it doesn't look bad. There's been flashes of brilliance, there's been flashes of really good things, but you just tell it's unfinished, like effects that maybe should have been there that aren't, vocal cues and sound effects that are there when nothing's actually happening on screen, and you can just tell, like, it's not badly animated. The people that work on this aren't bad at their job. It's the fact that they've been given fuck all time, seemingly, which is crazy considering how long the wait was between Season 2 and Season 3. But this is how these things function. You see it with AI now, AI being implemented in everything. These executives and people that work on like these committees and such just prioritize money over quality or anything. So yeah, massive shame where we're kind of headed art wise, but hopefully I'll stop ranting about that. hopefully we can kind of cut that out soon. I didn't even start the timer, apologies. But yeah, like I said, this is like I mean, there's a lot of shows that really do show a lot of love towards their material, but again, in general, it seems like a lot of businesses are kind of just moving towards that. I mean, it's always been profit over everything, but like even more obvious and in worse ways now. Like I said, with AI, it's just like everything seems to be implementing that just so they can cut out the middleman and not hire and pay people eventually. Just yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be too surprised if the anime we get in 2027 is animated by AI. Hope that's not the case, but it wouldn't be unexpected. I thought last episode was alright. The black sperm fight was actually pretty good. Other than that, it was just okay. But I'm glad they've done black sperm and atomic samurai segment pretty well. I doubt that. No, he's not, to be fair to him. He's not. I do love King. But hopefully we're going to see a bit more Saitama today. I'd say that's one of the main negatives of this season, is that we haven't had near enough Saitama in action. But I mentioned this last week, it's kind of hard. Like, I feel like every season from here on is going to be like this in terms of like, going to focus on the side characters and other characters for the most portion of the season, then just end off with a bit of Saitama kind of fan service of sorts. To be fair, I did also quite like the introduction of this homeless god, mostly because of his voice actor, but I thought he was pretty cool last week as well, actually. A little bit of him we saw. But I said that. I mean, we did get quite a bit of Saitama at the start of the season, but it was like the comedy slice of life stuff, which I really like. But I think everyone wants to see him in action as well, of course. I've got to say, I was thinking just before this, I feel like the star of the season is definitely Child Emperor. I think he's been pretty awesome this whole time. It's also a bit of a shame how little Garo we've seen lately. He was so prevalent at the start of the season. It's one of my favourite characters, so a bit of a shame we didn't see more of him. But yeah, who would you say like your favourite character from the season was, even despite like the animation and such? I think for me, I was most looking forward to Flashy Flash and Black Sperm. But I'd say yeah, Child Emperor's probably been one of, if not maybe my favourite character this season. Been great to watch. And he had like the best animated segment as well, I'd say. The mech stuff. Oh shit, he got eaten himself. Gums. Oh, he's gonna. This is going to be eat off. Yeah, he's gonna eat you from the inside. And then you're gonna eat him from the inside. Got a pig off here. So this is the guy that looks a lot like Jeepers Creepers. The Creeper from Jeepers Creepers. Those traps are insane, aren't they? The traps go above his head. Insects are amazing creatures, aren't they? The way they're engineered is just pretty awesome. The black sheen. What is that exactly? Well, you're not black. The one mistake you've made is you're not black. I shine. Yeah, I'm shiny. Slimy. My machine is a body. Type shit right there. Damn. No effort whatsoever. Oh, it's that guy. I like this. I like this guy. He reminds me of a Digimon. I think I was calling him Xiaolongmon. It's actually oh, I can't remember it now. It's, Chinese is hard to remember. I was calling him Xiaolongmon, but it's not that. It was no, I can't remember. Way too complicated. Way too complicated name. Wanglongmon? I can't remember. Mid snack. Damn, that'd be nasty. Joe, I thought we would see a lot more of that girl, considering how a lot of people were talking about her. The fitness girl. I love the apron. Good choice. Bad choice anyway, but good second choice. Oh shit. So one of the most disappointing things for me this season was Tatsumaki and her scenes. Like I loved the scenes of her just like riffing with the cast on a voice acting aspect, but like the animation during her scenes was really bad. So I hope they make up for it here because that was one of the most that was another character I was really excited to see more of. Her and Flashy Flash, and both of those segments disappointed me. Okay, she's gonna be taking on Gyora Gyora. Interesting. But are you any good at fighting? We haven't really seen. It. Oh, why are you holding back? Well, not really been the case so far at all. I don't even have the gall to say that. 300 times gravity. So this is the Tatsumaki I like. It's like chibi. Oh my god, it literally turned him into a tornado. That's pretty cool. Bro's thinking through his eyeball right now. Oh yeah. She's a million miles away. How are you talking? Oh, there is still like a slime of him there. Yeah, she's a million times more powerful than her sister. Oh, so this wasn't even his true form. Oh shit. Orochi, always the big boss. I never. I mean, I know there's an Orochi in Naruto, I think, but the one I recognize that from is the Okami game. I think you fight him twice, or maybe even three times. Actually, I can't remember. I think it might be just twice though. That's a long ass fight, fighting all those heads. I gotta say, like, I know at some there's a stylistic difference between Tatsumaki. I said earlier, I like the chibi version of her. It's like the normal looking version, and there's like the ultra detailed version they shoot as well. But her face has looked different quite a lot. Like that doesn't look like Tatsumaki there, does it? They're very different faces. Like we've already seen like 4 or 5 different faces of her this episode. Some intentional. This one I don't think so, but yeah, a bit jarring. A little bit jarring, but actually pretty decent sequence there. I said this earlier, but it was really disappointing because the tornadoes earlier on in the season looked like absolute crap. Looked like the gust of a fart. The impact it had. I like the one she done here. Actually, looked pretty good. That's a bit of gore. Turn him into a tornado. Okay, back with Orochi. And now a demon dragon thing. Keep it down. A bored man upstairs. Well, there's an instinct right there. How did he even survive? Ah, okay. It was just he didn't go all out. Pochi, bless him. Oketsu, man. Almost makes me look at like Goketsu was alright in season 2, but like now this season's done, it like makes me look at that much more favourably. The whole Goketsu stuff at the end of that season, like Seiryu and stuff. Seiryu. Make that stuff looks really good actually. When during that time it actually just looked okay. I'll say like it's such a shame because this would look like it looks pretty cool as it is, but this would look so fucking cool if done by Madhouse. And I imagine the manga looks incredible. I did see some manga shots of this guy when he was fighting Garo, and it looked insane. But it still looks pretty cool here. Like they haven't done a bad job. Not much movement or anything, but like as an actual kind of, if this was just like a still image, I was looking at it, I'd be like, yeah, it looks good. This is the most these guys ever talked, isn't it? Yeah, Garo might be surpassing you at some point. So. Saisho Shinka. Yes, they're all the same. Yep. At the end of the day, the power of writing will kill you in one punch, so shut your mouth. I do wonder, like, the comparison levels. I imagine, what was the guy from season one? The guy from the end of season one. I imagine he's probably more powerful than Orochi, right? Classic OST. Jeez. Okay, this shit actually looks pretty good. I'm liking this so far. So this is fear. Yeah, that actually looked really good. I like that. I mean, I think it was bound to, because I imagine they probably put a lot of effort into this episode and this scene. But yeah, that looked really good. I like that. Fuck that. And that's how we end off the season. Okay, still got a minute left. It was abrupt. We just went from fucking pretty awesome fight sequence where it actually looked really good. Um, I got to say, like, it looked really good. The aura, as weird as that sounds, like the atmosphere was not built up fantastically. I don't think, but I think that's just a product of the season being quite disappointing. Less so than the episode being not good at building that up, like they tried. But it's kind of hard when the build up of the 11 episodes before this weren't great. But the fight scene actually looked pretty good. But then to just randomly like that cut really quickly, you know. Does anyone else feel weird about that? Like I kind of feel what they were going for, like a little cliffhanger with Garo, but it just like quickly cut to that for 2 seconds, and then black screen. I felt like a very oddly presented cliffhanger thing. I mean, we've still got a scene at the end here, so we'll see what's to come. But yeah, like I said, pretty good, pretty damn good fight scene there. Actually, one of the best this season for sure. Absolutely for sure. I can imagine like if you've got like 2 months to make an anime, what you're gonna do? You're gonna prioritize a scene like that, aren't you? You can tell like the priority scenes, the one with Child Emperor as well, and the mech, like that was clearly a priority kind of animation as well because that looked really good. Then everything else got a bit shafted. Who's he gonna come across? I'm a cloud, a soft, fluffy cloud in the sky. Oh, is that Child Emperor? Oh no, it's why'd this kid come back? What the hell? What the fuck? Is that a monster? Surely this kid wouldn't come back down here, would he? It is a monster. Yep. The aura, man. Oh my god, he melted him. We got melted by his aura. Fucking King, bro. We love King. I do. I do love him, mate. He's been one of my favorite additions to the new Saitama posse. So yeah, bit of an anticlimactic ending, a bit like going from that pretty hype sequence again. It wasn't as hype and aura filled and such, just because again the build up has not been great. Like when you have like a season, you're always like constantly building to the finale, and anticipating, but there hasn't been much anticipation because you anticipate disappointment. But that's not what we got today. I thought it was actually pretty good looking, for the most part. This fight, there was a few like scenes where they were just like, it felt like they lingered a bit too much, like they were lingering a bit too much on the flashy lights. But it was actually pretty decent for the most part. Like I said, like the tornado segment, I thought that looked really good actually. Just like it was quick, but it had much more of an impact than the tornadoes we saw earlier on in the season, which just had no impact. I thought that was pretty decent. So the disappointment of Tatsumaki for me this season has been remedied a little bit here, I guess. She was pretty awesome during this episode. Super Black Alloy was pretty cool this episode actually as well. I mean, it wasn't anything incredible, but just like nice little hype aura moment. She's absolutely decimating this guy, which we saw Garo struggle with, although Garo did take on two of them once, to be fair. And yeah, like I said, like the animation during these sequences with King Orochi looked really good. Like I imagine it probably does look better in the manga, and the source material, the web novel, but I still think like it was pretty damn solid. There wasn't anything noticeably bad at all about this fight, and actually had some really good animation to it. I will say, I said this about Tatsumaki earlier, the inconsistency, like it's clearly intentional sometimes with how they change the look of the character to look more serious with Saitama. Like this is a more serious look. He's got a more funny look. He's got a more just normal Saitama look. But I feel like it was even intentionally inconsistent. It was inconsistent, if that makes sense. Like it's still like I'm not sure they used the right modes in the right scenes, if that makes sense. Like we went from pretty stern, serious Saitama there to then during the fight back to his kind of comedic kind of look, which I thought was a bit strange. Like this scene here, like why did he not look as serious as he like? Clearly they're trying to, but he's I don't know. Again, it's just like comparing to season one. It doesn't compare to season one whatsoever, but like in season one, that would have looked a bit more stern, a bit more rigid and such. But again, overall, it looked pretty good. There was some nice sequences in this, wasn't there? And you can tell this is where they focused a lot of their efforts. Ended off pretty anticlimactically, to be honest with you. With this, I'm not sure what we're even looking at here. Is that Orochi there? And is that Garo like prophesized like? So what I'm gonna understand from this is like that it doesn't look that much like Orochi, but I'm gonna assume that's Orochi and like his ceiling, if that makes sense. Like that's the monster Orochi in his prime. And above him is what Garo will be in his prime. He'll be that it like comparatively he'll be much more of an absolute monster compared to this Orochi that again I don't think was much more powerful than I keep forgetting. I know it's like 5 letters. Like every time I think of the name, I just come up with Genos, and it's obviously not Genos. Boros, that's the one because it does sound similar. I don't think Orochi really had anything on Boros, to be honest with you. But judging from this visual, it looks like Garo perhaps can in the future. Like, I'm just assuming because it's a human that this is like a foretelling of power of Garrow's kind of like transformation or something. But I don't think this cliffhanger was very well done. It feels like, as with many other shows lately, like this is not just a One Punch Man problem. This is a kind of modern day shows in general. It feels like I know there's a part 2 coming, but the ending doesn't feel awfully definitive. It feels like there's just going to be an episode airing next week, which I know there isn't going to be. It's going to be almost 2 years, but yeah, pretty decent final episode. I wasn't expecting it to be anything great. I knew it would probably be a little bit better than usual, just because it's probably a very prioritized episode. But yeah, actually pretty good for the most part. Let me know what you guys thought about this one though down in the comment section. Let me know what you guys thought overall of this first part of season 3 in the comment section as well. I'm again, don't get me wrong, it like for One Punch Man it wasn't great. It's definitely not one of the worst shows I've watched. Like, I'm doing a tier list. I'm not quite finished it yet because I've got a couple shows that are airing on New Year's that I'm going to add on to it. But this is like bottom tier, don't get me wrong, just because it's One Punch Man. But if this was like another IP and this was like the first season of it, probably wouldn't be quite as harsh, and I think everybody else wouldn't be quite as harsh as well, especially because we've got that season 1 that was so incredible that you're always going to compare it to it. But it's in the bottom tier, but it's like it's nowhere near the worst thing I watched this year at all, and it's nowhere near like one of the worst series I've watched in general, or TV or like movies, for example. I've probably watched hundreds of worse movies than this season of anime, but I think a lot of people were majorly negative on it so that they'd have an impact to tell the studio like, oh, we're rating it super low and we hate this. But that doesn't really work. I mentioned this in the intro. All they really care about is the numbers and money, and the rating numbers and the scoring numbers don't really matter if it's making money. So the only way you can actually affect it is by not watching it. I'm going to watch it because I do still find some enjoyment in the anime, but I don't understand why the people that rate it low and keep hating on it, and especially with like some YouTubers that try to kind of create these brigades to actually do something. I'm not sure why they're continuing to watch it and rate it low. Like, that's having an impact. That's kind of having the opposite impact of what they want, because they're still tuning in, they're still giving viewership and in a way promoting people to watch the series, even if it is in a hate watch kind of negative way. They're still tuning in, so that's actually giving the boards and whatever exactly what they want now. So that seems pretty silly to me. I feel like if you hated this, the best thing to do would just be to not watch it, and that will hopefully kind of send the message across. But as I said in the intro, hopefully they just get given more time. They've got more than a year, and hopefully they actually give them that amount of time to animate season 3 part 2 after all that's happened during these last 12 or 13 weeks. Hopefully something got through to them. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this one in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought about the whole part as well. Leave a like on the video if you guys did like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with any of my reactions. And I will be back in a couple of years with season 3 part 2.